What's up, y'all? Peace. This is Ra. Welcome back to Trill Alchemy. For those that are new to the channel, Trill Alchemy is all about helping you, me, and us with our individual and collective ascension journeys. And we do that here through light language, channelings, and transmissions, readings, teachings, however spirit wants to move. So today we're going to be talking about love. Love is in the air. Let me just tell y'all, I have been talking probably for about 10 minutes already and didn't realize that the camera wasn't recording. So joke's on me. But anyway, I got it right. But today we're going to be talking about love from a higher perspective. If you are anything like me, I know a lot of us, some of us are already in loving relationships, and that is great. Some of us are looking to elevate our relationships. Some of us are looking to find our one, okay? And for many of us, the reason that we haven't found our one is because we have made commitments on a soul level that we are going to experience and anchor love in a much higher frequency than it has ever been experienced on this planet before. So that takes a great deal of work. It takes a great deal of understanding of what you have committed to. So today we're going to talk about love from a hermetic perspective, okay? So I don't know if you are familiar with Hermes Trismegistus, who wrote the Kabbalion, which to me is like the basis for universal law here in this realm. But there is a theory called hermetic love, which is really defining love in 5D. So a lot of us have had many lifetimes where we have experienced 3D love, okay? And we signed up and we said, yeah, I'm not coming here to experience that again. So I'm coming here to make myself ready for 5D love and to wait and be patient for my partner to make themselves ready for 5D love. So for a lot of us, that's why we haven't materialized that relationship yet. But once you understand what hermetic love is about, and then we're going to also do a reading to look at collectively what energies could be blocking us from hermetic love, then it will make it a lot easier for not even if it's not easier for it to come in, which it should make it easier for it to come in, it will at least make your weight a lot more easier to digest. You'll understand what you need to be cultivating inside of you on a spiritual level, what you need to be letting go of, because a lot of paradigms have to shift. 3D love and 5D love look nothing alike. 3D love, and let me just say this, 3D love, okay, is all love, okay, number one, is based off of how we see God. If God is love, and we have been taught and conditioned to see God in a certain way. If you have been taught to see God as a jealous God, as a vengeful God, as a punishing God, as only one but me, then that's how you're going to see love. Your box of love potential is going to be as limited as your box of God definition. Okay. But we made a commitment to shift that paradigm, okay? We are the pioneers out on the frontier looking for love in all the wrong places, okay? You heard me say. So what does that mean? So let's talk about hermetic love. Now, a lot of us say, we set these goals for love. And a lot of those goals are very lofty if you relate them to 3D principles. And we'll call those goals superior love goals. So what are some superior love goals? Okay. And y'all know I don't read a lot of books, but this is a book that I read back in 2013. So I'm gonna bring it up today because it has a lot of jewels in it. Everything in it don't necessarily ring true for me, but a lot of what it teaches about hermetic love does, and it teaches about corrupt love too. This book, my bad, is called The Science of Love by John Baines, okay? And like I said, I read this book probably 9 years ago. But in this book, it talks about corrupt love, which is the state of love that a lot of us have been experiencing. And then there's superior love, which is like an idealized version of 3D love. So what are some of the characteristics of 3D love? Of superior love? With superior love, let's say you have a superior 3D love relationship. You're able to communicate your internal feelings. You don't base love off of superficial things. It's not based off of how pretty she is or how much money he has. It's based off of something else, okay? You see the person on the inside. This is all great. Nothing wrong with it. In a superior love, you are able to observe your ego and the defenses that you bring to the relationship. So this is important. You have to be able to accomplish a superior love before you can get into hermetic love. But just know that hermetic love is an even more elevated state than superior love. Okay, superior love, you are mastering loving yourself first and loving others, okay? You are able to present your true self to your partner, showing up with no mask. There's no jealousy, okay? A lot of people are stuck, can't even get to superior love because they are stuck on a vibration of love has to embody some form of jealousy, okay? You're not going to get there. Superior love, there's no lying. There's balanced giving and receiving. So you're not stuck in a codependent dynamic of, I'm always pleasing this person or I'm always receiving. It's a balance. And then there is shared responsibility. So all that's ideal. A lot of us are like, well, shit, if I could just get that, then I would be cool. But you got to understand, you've probably experienced that in many lifetimes before, and you've probably already mastered that. And so what you signed up for is a higher version of that, which is called hermetic love, okay? Hermetic love is love that occurs only to the extent that both people realize a truly effective development of their own ego. So you're not in a state of just observing your ego and your defenses. You're not in a state of just of trying to kill the ego, death of the ego. That's some bullshit. What you are in is a state of developing the ego. So you are developing from the lower man into the higher functions of the spiritual man and integrating all of that. And that, for many of us, is the journey that we are individually signed up and committed to. And the love partner that we have said we will accept in this lifetime is one who is doing this same level of work, okay? So what are the 7 principles of hermetic love? And I'm going to tell you, this topic came up to me because I was doing my spiritual work this morning. Beautiful time spirit this morning, and I was going through one of my old books and I found this list that I had made after my last relationship, and it was my 5 rules for my 5D relationship, okay? And so a lot of it came from this book, and I'm gonna share my 5 rules at the end to kind of sum it all up. But these are the 7 principles of hermetic love, okay? Which is what many of us have challenged ourselves to find and embody and create in this lifetime. Okay, so first, hermetic love. This is important, y'all. Listen. Hermetic love is based off of the understanding that we are our own polar individual entities. As a feminine energy, I have a polarized magnetism. As a masculine energy, he has a polarized magnetism. We are here to honor and stay in our individual magnetisms, right? So with hermetic love, the first principle is we are fully developed in our masculine and feminine. Okay, so don't get this twisted. I'm not saying that as a feminine entity, I only have feminine energy. I have a ton of masculine energy, right? As a hermetic individual, okay, that is here to represent the energy of the Christ, we are here to develop both sides of our divine masculine and divine feminine. But when you come into a hermetic union, the masculine energy deposits his feminine energy into the female. The feminine entity deposits her masculine energy into the male. So they are both able, fully developed, okay, fully developed with both, but they are both able to stay in their individual polarities. So they understand how to negotiate and move and deposit this energy into one another, okay? So that they can stay in their individual polarities. Man projects his feminine into the woman. Woman projects her masculine into the man, and they maintain balanced polarities. That means there is always a natural magnetism between them. I can just tell you, in some of my relationships, I have been, and this is how I can tell that I'm growing, because I've been attracting men who are more in tune with their feminine nature. Not to say that they are, like less than a man, or, like has shown any kind of like effeminate tendencies, but they are showing a capacity for intuition, a capacity for compassion, a capacity for understanding, right? And this is at what point I used to ask myself, like, well, why am I attracting these men that's showing all this energy? I thought it was something wrong with me. I was like, well, maybe I'm too unbalanced in my masculine. And what Spirit showed me was that, no, this is a sign that you are moving along this continuum of being a more balanced person yourself, because I'm like, y'all see me, I'm feminine, okay? Like, but I do, but I'm attracting partners that are moving and exhibiting more balanced natures of themselves. Now, what we were not able to master in these old relationships was the ability to deposit the opposite energy into one another. Okay, so we would meet with conflict when these opposing energies came up. Okay, we weren't able to remain in our balance, but we're working. We're all works in progress. Okay, the second principle of a hermetic love, hermetic couple, is they adopt natural roles. What does this mean? Women incarnate as nature. Man incarnates as spirit, okay? We understand as a hermetic couple that our paths to evolution are going to be completely different as nature and spirit, and we honor those individual roles. I'm not trying to project myself into the world, into the relationship as spirit. You're not trying to be in the receptive, nurturing capacity as nature. We understand those two individual roles, individual functions, and we honor them, okay? We honor our individual paths to evolution. The third quality of a hermetic couple is that they create a hidden paradise on earth. Okay, so you see now why you have to be able to demonstrate the qualities of a superior love. That's like kindergarten. If you're going to be able to create a hidden paradise on earth that is akin to the Garden of Eden. This is what the Garden of Eden represents. And what it means is that as a couple, they are able to acquire the power to create everything. This is what a hidden paradise is. This is what having heaven on earth is. Together, we can come together as nature and spirit and create everything. The Garden of Eden had every fruit available, every fruit known to man, every fruit known in creation was available in the Garden of Eden. Okay? This is what we have the capacity to do as a hermetic couple. And I don't want nothing less than that. That's why I've been looking at some of these relationships. I'm like, oh, okay. I have to understand. We wasn't in, neither one of us was in the capacity yet to demonstrate this. What is the fourth thing? They create a third being. Okay, so how many times have you been taught that, oh, when I find my one, we gonna come together and unite and we gonna become one? No, you do not. As a hermetic, that is like some 3D level shit, okay? Because what happens when two individuals come together and become one, they become neutral. They lose their individual magnetism, okay? And that's why it's so hard for these 3D relationships to stay together. That's why people cheat. That's why people, step out, whatever, because the magnetism isn't there, because your goal was to come together and create and unite as one being. They put that in their vows. Oh, this is the commitment. And it is going against your commitment to higher spiritual evolution. So what happens in a hermetic love relationship is two individuals come together, and yes, you are creating something new, but you are creating a third spiritual being, okay? Most couples come together and they stop there or limit their creation to a third physical being. That's normal shit, okay? Hermetic couples understand that they come together and they are creating a third spiritual being. This is the true definition of the Holy Trinity, Mother, Father, Child. This spiritual being is what is considered part of their divine family, okay? It is a protector of the relationship. It is a being that helps them create what they need to in the material realm, okay, and assist with their evolution. This principle feeds into the next principle. I think I'm on number 5, which is that not only can they create a third being, but this third being has the capacity to be what is considered an invisible God. We're not saying God in terms of God as the ultimate source creator, but God in terms of one that is born of higher spiritual principles and not born of the animalistic nature. Okay, so again, this entity, this third being, this God, is part of the divine family. It is born of a higher spiritual nature. It is overseeing their evolution as individuals. It is overseeing the evolution of their bloodline, of their children, of their lineage, of everything that they create, whether it is a business, an empire, a child, whatever it is, it's overseeing that, okay? And it is always there as a source of protection, okay? Most people stop at we gonna get together, go half on a baby, all right? And that's it. And then they spend their whole lives trying to maintain a creation. Not to say that a human is a lower form of creation, but it's something that's created out of an animalistic nature, not out of a higher state of consciousness. Speaking of creating out of a higher state of consciousness, the 6th principle of hermetic love is what is called mental coitus. Okay, coitus is like sexual relations. And so when I say mental, I'm not talking about sex in the mind, imagining. Y'all I be flowing, okay? Imagining sex. When I speak of the mind, I speak of it in terms of, from a hermetic perspective, where we say all is mental. All is the mind. And so what it's saying is that, yes, hermetic couples have normal sex, but their sex is also a representative of a state of profound spiritual enjoyment. So even if they never came together physically, they could have what is called coitus, interaction, orgasm of a higher spiritual nature. Okay, and what it does is they manifest their spirit through their own minds or their own state of consciousness. Okay, I know some of this seems very far out, but for a lot of us, this is what we signed up to experience, and we told the Creator, I'm not committing to anything less than this, or if I do commit, it's just going to be showing me and redirecting me to this path of hermetic love. Okay, so you can see we got a lot of work to do. Okay, the last 7th principle of hermetic love is that they create a private sanctuary in their home. So their home is the space that is armed against all inferior energies. Okay, so there is nothing that can penetrate the boundaries of their sanctuary, nothing of a lower nature. Okay, all right, so we got some understanding of hermetic love. We can see that it takes a great deal of shifting of understanding what's in our own personal shadows in order for us to be able to evolve to this state. So these were my 5 rules. So let me check my 5 rules for my next relationship, my hermetic relationship. I'm going to distill those 7 principles into like 5 things that I'm saying I'm committing to, and will not settle for anything less in my next relationships. Okay, so the first one is Ra's 5 rules of 5D relationships. We will preserve our individual polarity and magnetism and use it to create quantum love in life. Okay, we understand that life and creation is a clash of magnetic forces where the woman is absorbing the man's masculine principles and nourishing it, and the man is relying on the woman's psychic fertilization in the brain in order to stimulate his spirit. Okay, so number 1, we will preserve our own individual magnetism. All right. Number 2, what you do when you're not with me is none of my business. I know for a lot of people that's hard to understand and hard to grasp. Okay, so you got to understand, we have already evolved through the superior love paradigm of, I'm not gonna lie to you, we already have that base level of understanding. We also understand that we are currently existing in infinite dimensions. I'm in another dimension doing some totally different shit right now. You in another dimension doing something. You probably got a wife in another dimension. If I can control what you're doing in that dimension, I damn sure ain't about to be worried about what you're doing in this dimension. Okay? Free yourself from the need to understand and know what your partner is doing at all times. It ain't your business. Okay? It ain't your business, and your mind is way too fertile. Like, nature is not worried about what the birds is doing. Nature is just being nature, right? Nature ain't worried about if the tiger is over here doing what the tiger is supposed to do. Nature is being nature, okay? All right. Does that make sense? I'm talking to the women right now specifically. I'm talking to the women specifically on that one. Okay, my 3rd rule for 5D relationships. We won't have any boxes, okay? We will create what is called a matrimonial ovoid. That's our 3rd being, okay? That is based on a natural union. A natural union that is formed in accordance with the laws of nature, not the laws of man. So what happens a lot of times, mostly all the times, when couples define their matrimony by the laws of man, they limit themselves. You can only create as high as a physical being. You don't even give yourself the potential to create this spiritual 3rd entity, this spiritual invisible God, okay, that is going to oversee your relationship and bring forth everything that you need to create your hidden paradise. You limit yourself. So when I get married, it is going to be based off of a natural union. We will write our own vows and our own contracts based off of these hermetic principles. It will not be defined by the laws of man. It will not be registered with the state. One thing y'all got to understand, like, y'all know my last name is Bay, and I claim my indigenous nationality back in like 2011. And one of the things that I've learned in that process is that anything that requires a state license or certificate, whether that is a birth certificate, whether that is a marriage license or a business license, makes whatever you create, whatever that entity creates, is now a ward of the state. Meaning the state has the final say over what can be done. You have a birth certificate with your child, CPS can come take your child away from you. You have a marriage license, the court will decide who gets what, when, and where. Okay, and anything created out of that union, okay, any money that you make, the court decides how it's going to get split at the end of the day. We're not subjecting ourselves to the laws of man in my relationship no more. Okay. All right. What's my 4th rule? Okay, wait. So let me finish. So a natural union that is formed in accordance with the laws of nature, not man, where we are truly harmonious. This frees the couple to create children of spirit, an invisible child who proves the formation of the natural bond, okay? My fourth rule of 5D relationships is our goal is not to unite and become one, but to unite and fuse into a third being. Everything that we do is synergistic from here on out. We won't lose our own individuality, thus forming the real holy trinity, okay, of spiritual man, woman, and child. Then my fifth rule is that our love will not be defined by time, distance, title, past traumas, or outdated contracts. That's all 3D stuff. We come together to create our own hidden paradise, free of expectations, but fertile and pregnant with unlimited potential. We can literally create anything here. Okay, so I appreciate that, y'all. I'd let y'all, like that was personal for me. I've only shared that with one other person, but I just want, give y'all some insight into where I'm at on my path. So I understand that everybody that comes across my path is not going to be in alignment with those energies yet. So I have to be patient. I have to continue to make sure that as an individual, I am preparing myself to be the full representation of nature while he is preparing himself to be the full representation of spirit. So let's get into it. I'm going to get into some tarot. And I want to just I'm going to ask spirit, what is collectively, give us some information on where the blockage is. What is preventing us? The most prominent thing that is preventing us, those who are tuned in, from acquiring this hermetic love. Okay, so we're just gonna pull a few cards. Giving all thanks to the Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, God. We are so grateful and just in awe of your presence, in awe of your potential, and in awe of your potential to create within us. Give us some very valuable insight today. What are the things that we need to be shifting? Where do we need to be making changes in order to usher in our ultimate version of hermetic love? All right. Make it plain and clear. It's for somebody. It ain't for everybody. We know that. First card, Lovers in reverse. Ain't that some Lovers in reverse. Lovers in reverse. This says it all right here. We are not truly aligned with the true frequency of love. We have defined love by man-made standards, man-made protocols, man-made boxes, and have limited what God has intended for us to experience in love. First card out. This is the Tarot of the Heart deck for anybody that wants to know. I can't make it up. What else, y'all? What else, Spirit? High Priestess in reverse. We are not honoring our intuition. Not only are we not honoring our intuition, but we are not honoring our own spiritual development, our own spiritual path of development, our own spiritual voice. Okay, so for a lot of us, if we would listen more into, this is why I have been so dedicated to my daily spiritual practice. Okay, and y'all, I'm telling you, it is like, I'm gonna share, I'm actually creating something for y'all to share what I do on a daily basis, but it is strengthening my relationship with my oversoul. Okay, so this is what this is about. So for many of us, we have not developed a relationship with our oversoul, our Ori, our head that guides us, but yet we are out here wanting to join forces with another underdeveloped Ori. Okay, what you gonna come up with? You can't create no paradise. You can't create no God when you don't even know how to hear yourself, when you don't even honor your own intuitive nature. This is an underdeveloped feminine principle. Okay, we know that for many of us, we have been operating in masculine energy of action, of doing, Okay, so for many of us, this represents an underdeveloped feminine half. Okay, what else is blocking? Okay, third eye chakra. I can't make it up. Block third eye. That's playing off of the last card. One more card, please. Okay. And then here we go with the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, it says take the lead. This is all masculine energy about pushing out and taking action. So I'm going to get some clarity on that one. I want to know how that is blocking us. Let me clarify. Because what I'm seeing is a transition from blocked energy into like rectifying the blocked energy and then moving into an expansive type of energy with the Three of Wands. But let me just clarify. I don't think all of this is blockage. I think there is some kind of transformation because we go from the High Priestess in reverse to an open third eye. So I feel like if we do a light language transmission today, it is going to be to open the third eye specifically. Okay. Tell me about the lovers in reverse. Ten of Wands with the lovers in reverse. This is unburdening yourself from the old, outdated paradigms of love. We have to let it go. You cannot move forward holding on to a version of love that is not congruent with the true nature of the Creator. How have you been seeing God, and how has that formed your paradigm of love? It is time to let it go. So for many of you who are out here wondering, where is my mate? You can't receive them because you're holding on to a version of love that is not suitable for either one of you anymore. High Priestess in reverse. High Priestess in reverse, please. Temperance. I told you there was alchemy taking place. There was transformation taking place if you do the work. So remember how I talked about my spiritual practice, right? This temperance card to me is the process of alchemizing your own nature. So let's talk about what we talk about prayer. I talk about prayer a lot. And for many of us, we have the misconception that prayer is about us putting a request out to the universe and then, oh shit, abracadabra, magic happens, and then I attract something back to me. That is not how prayer or manifestation or alchemy or any of that works. And what Spirit is saying with these two cards is that when you go into your hidden space, your spiritual closet within your mind, and you do the work of uncovering your shadow, of connecting with your oversoul, okay? What you are doing is you're saying, now when I pray a prayer, I understand that in order for the prayer to materialize, what I'm really asking is for you to transform me into that which I am asking for. So if I am asking for a hermetic love relationship, I have to do the work of alchemizing myself, of connecting with my oversoul and alchemizing myself so that I am that version of me which represents that. Does that make sense to y'all? Okay, so this is you doing the work. Some of us are not committed to doing the work. We think just because this new age shit got us thinking that just because you ask for it, that you automatically gonna receive it. No, the laws of the universal law says that anything that is, that God's word will not return void. But what that means is that when you ask for it, you have to do the work of transformation. Okay? All right. Third eye. Oh, I just told you got to do the work with the Eight of Pentacles. You have to do the work. So this is showing you the potential to open it up, to be able to hear, to be able to see, to be able to align with your vision. But you have to do the work. You cannot shy away from the actual work. This is what you are here to do. If you are here to anchor love at a higher frequency, it is about goddamn time that you get to the work of anchoring love at a higher frequency within yourself. Nothing happens without before it happens within. Now, 3 of Wands. Now you're waiting on your ships to come in with the 3 of Wands. Okay, so let's see what's coming in. This can represent patience. It can represent, this one says taking the lead. But let me see. 3 of Wands. Justice, which is karma, which is receiving what's yours. Oh, there's too many cards. What else about this 3 of Wands? With the Magician. There you go. Here you go. Here you go. Doing the work with this 3 of Wands. I'm hearing having a heart of expectancy. Okay, because the 3 of Wands is about, after the 2 of Wands, you've made the plans, you've seen the vision, you've committed to the path, and now you kind of just waiting there for the ship to come in, right? This is about having a heart of expectancy and knowing that what you came here to do, you have the full capacity to receive. You have all of the resources within you to create with this Magician card, and it is due to you with the Justice card. It's about damn time, okay? But it's not going to happen until you do the work. It's not going to happen until you drop the old paradigms of love. It's not going to happen until you connect with the Oversoul and do the work of transformation. So today we're going to offer a little bit of light language. I'm a little bit over the time I want it to be. We're going to offer a little bit of light language that is going to be directed with the intention of Oversoul connection, okay? Opening up this connection so that you can understand more of your internal duty and obligation to yourself before you start looking for it in somebody else, okay? So let me just have a second to connect. Mama yalo mai kota na yo ku pia na no suna na yo komanda na ya kana na yo ko mama yo ku sitini yo no na. Umia kana no toda na lo ma komanda to no ayo komanda na yo ko satana yo kuna na ya ayo kota na ya. See, it is our sincere desire that you are able to receive the words that have been spoken to you with an open mind and open understanding, that any guarding that you have, because for somebody this is rubbing them the wrong way, okay? For somebody it's really challenging their old paradigms and they do not want to let go. And what Spirit is saying is that we are having this conversation with you today to give you the opportunity to open yourself up to what you deserve and what you came here to experience. O kanaria no mayo ko sisina layo na nayo kana nayo ko sia no mayo na nayo ku sisina layo no mayo ku para nayo ku ta na nayo ku ta na nayo ku na nayo ki. So we ask right now that you are able to relax your attachment to the barriers, that you are able to relax your attachments to the limitations that you have around love, that you are able to relax your attachments to the 3D versions of love that you have already mastered and that you have already experienced. Your oversoul knows exactly what you deserve and knows exactly what is needed to prepare you to receive and to be open enough to bring this level of transformation into your life. So today we are connecting you with your oversoul in a way that is more powerful than you have ever been connected. We are reestablishing lines of remembrance, lines of connection, lines of translation, lines of communication. And we are asking the Creator to renew a commitment in you to strengthen this relationship with your oversoul first, on a daily basis before you step out and seek love in another. Nalayo ko sananayo, manrio ko nalayo kuta nalayo kuta nalayo kuta nalayo sanalayo me akia tanalayo huka tanaya sanaya. O ya kia no mayo so aya no one akia no mayo huchi siki na yo lo ne akia kananaya. It is definitely time to step up. It is definitely time to step up. It is definitely time to step up with a new level of overstanding. We don't have to be subject to the old things that have kept us stuck in the same places. Okay? I don't know what else to say, y'all. I'm holla. Peace.